to Seismic 7, Chapter 14, Part 1. We come up the tunnel in the dark, and I see light ahead. Our campsite. The guard we've captured is currently dragged along by Miss McNamara and Kinsey, who looks ready to rip him to shreds if he tries anything funny. He clearly notices that, because he stays very still and behaves himself. Kinsey and Miss McNamara heave him off to one side once we're in the camp area. The other two guards could be anywhere. "We need scouts," Miss McNamara says. Eddie and Raquel both volunteer. Before anyone can object, they dash off into the cave, looking around our camp. I wonder if they offered to go search because they still don't trust Miss McNamara and are checking around for signs of betrayal. After several minutes, they return. "They're by the main cave entrance," Raquel says. I blink. I hadn't even noticed her climb up the stairs to check. How do we want to handle them? "Blasting powder," I say. Kinsey grins a feral grin. "Okay. Scary, but yes." "No," I say quickly. "I don't want to use it. I want to intimidate them with it." Miss McNamara beams. "Excellent plan, Bree." Todd and Wyatt exchange wary glances, but I don't know what to tell them. Desperate times, desperate measures. We enter the camp, and Miss McNamara takes us to a shed where the blasting powder is stored. I pick up a bag of it, grim resignation coming over me. This stuff is dangerous. If I make a mistake or get too close to a flame, it could kill me. But after all we've already been through, I'm surprisingly calm about that fact. Todd and Wyatt have secured the first guard in one cabin. Raquel says they practically used all the rope in the cabin, and Todd pouts at that. "Hey, I'm not going to apologize for being cautious," Todd says. "You want him to get free and warn Dr. Greer?" "It was my idea to double tie everything," Wyatt says. "You can laugh at me if you want." But Raquel doesn't. Todd and Wyatt stay behind with Miss McNamara so they can sort out exactly how we're going to get the cement into the tunnel, while the rest of us head through camp in the other direction toward the cave entrance. The element of surprise is a major part of our plan, so when we reach the spiral staircase, we ascend it one at a time again, carefully and quietly. I get to the top and notice it's starting to get dark outside. It's hard to tell where the cave ends and the outdoors begins, but two men move by the entrance, and my eyes adjust. Once we've all reached the top, I give Kinsey a nod. "Hey, dipwads," she shouts. They spin. Kinsey ignites her blowtorch, and I raise my bag of blasting powder up into the air. "If you make any moves, we'll blow all of us up right here, right now." One of them freezes, and the other frowns, not buying it. "You wouldn't do that," he says. "You'd kill yourselves." Raquel, who had been hiding in the shadows behind us, comes up with her own blowtorch. "If she won't do it, I will." I'm surprised by the effect that has on the second guard. At Raquel's declaration, he completely complies. My heart reaches out to her, seeing the lines on her face in the light of the blowtorch fire. "Now get walking," Raquel says. They do as we ask. We head back into camp, tying the other guards up with the first. That should be all of them. Eddie takes great pleasure in locking the door to their cabin. Then Miss McNamara settles her shoulders, ushering us all over for a meeting. "Okay, now comes the work," she says. Todd and Wyatt show us a diagram they drew. "The cement mixer in the cavern has been attached to slurry hoses," Todd says. "We need to fill up the vertical section of the alpha tunnel with cement, from way down where it begins to curve all the way up to the very top where the exit hole is. But we have to be thorough and pack the cement in tightly," Wyatt says, "which means we're going to have to go down there with it. One person with the hose of sludge mix to start filling it neatly, getting the edges and everything. And whoever is first will need to take something with them to block the turn in the alpha tunnel, so the cement doesn't accidentally ooze all the way down into the beta tunnels. If anything drops into those, we could risk setting off the explosives. We'll probably need to take turns so no one tires out," Todd says. "And what? We just have to hope Dr. Greer doesn't come back and find us or get bored and blow everything up in the meantime?" Kinsey sniffs. "Yes," Wyatt says, "so we really should hurry." I nod, more than ready to get this plan going. We head to the inner caves down to where our work site is. The walk is fast, which is good because it's also painful. Every step, I'm reminded of the pride I'd felt in our work all summer. The rocky walls of the cave taunt me now. The light from the strung-up lamps dances along them, laughing cruelly. Your fault, they seem to say. You did this. If the volcano erupts, it's on you. When we finally reach the cavern, I'm shaking worse than the false earthquakes we'd felt through July. I shine my headlamp around our worksite, trying to channel the single-minded focus I can get when editing videos for Aunt Pauline. We have a job to do. My light shines to the far edge of the cavern where the cement mixer lies. The good news is we're going to have plenty of cement to work with. We've churned up so much rubble over the summer that the mixer must be filled to the brim, and more can easily be made from the vat of water and piles of rocks in the cavern near it. We locate a piece of scrap metal around the diameter of our pods to use as a plug for the bottom of the vertical portion of the alpha tunnel. Kinsey volunteers to go first, as she'll need to take the metal plate in addition to the hose and safety cable. As the smallest of us all, it'll be easiest for her. After we load her up with everything she needs, she steps into her harness like we did on the day we installed the blasting powder. Then she gets lowered into the tunnel. The rest of us plan out an order of who will keep watch. Luckily, Miss McNamara seems to think we have some time before Dr. Greer and the men return, even though it is already dark. As soon as you are done with the cement, I'm radioing for help, Miss McNamara promises. And if Samantha finds us before help arrives, well, I'll try to direct her anger onto me, so you can all get away. She grimaces, and I shudder. I don't know how any of us will escape if that situation happens. After nearly an hour, Kinsey radios up, asking for a trade. Todd presses the button that gets the cable moving up and out of the tunnel. When Kinsey eventually emerges, I see that her gloves are caked in drying cement and her face is covered in gray dust where her goggles and mask don't cover. I hope that doesn't hurt her healing skin. Eddie goes next. The rest of us make and eat some oatmeal, which is unfortunately the only large group serving foodstuff we can find at the camp. After Kinsey comments that her oatmeal looks a lot like the cement she was pouring, I have an even harder time forcing it down. Miss McNamara doesn't eat. She just paces, looking for all the world like she's on the verge of a heart attack. She must feel so useless right now. She can't fit down the tunnel to help us. She can't call anyone or risk the volcano blowing, and she's got the guilt on her shoulders for being responsible for this entire situation and having to face Raquel and Eddie after what she's done to them. I feel bad for her, but honestly, for a lot of that, she deserves to feel rotten. After Eddie comes out and dives into his own bowl of oatmeal, Todd goes down. Wyatt offers to go after him. I look at Raquel at that point. Neither of us have signed up to go in yet. She seems to like bringing up the back of the group, so I probably should go after Wyatt. It's something I've observed about her time and time again. Hey, Raquel? She looks at me from her camp chair. Yeah? I'm guessing you want to go last, right? If you don't mind, she says. I don't. It's not because I want you guys to do all the work, she says quickly. Oh, no, I didn't think that at all, I clarify. I just noticed you always bring up the back of the group pretty much everywhere we go. I guess I've just been wondering, why? She leans back in her camp chair, folding her knees to her chest. Benny and Lucy took last shift the day they died. James was in the back of our group when he got injured. Raquel's voice goes quiet. The churning of the cement mixer behind us is the only sound for several moments. I was in front. They looked to me to lead, so I did. But that also meant it was my responsibility to watch for dangers. It's my fault. Now, well, if I go after everyone else, then anything that's missed falls to me. And whatever curse there is on being last, that falls to me, too. I reach one tentative hand out and set it on her shoulder. She flinches, so I take it off. It's Dr. Greer's fault, and Miss McNamara's. I know that won't be enough, but need to say it anyway. Not yours. It's their fault we're here, Raquel says. But they weren't in the tunnels those days. They weren't the person everyone looked up to and trusted. Helpless, I watch her get up and walk over to Eddie, who has passed out asleep in his camp chair. She picks up his empty bowl of oatmeal and takes it over to the pile of dishes. I stretch one arm over my shoulders, trying to get my muscles to come back to life before it's my turn to head down. I have no idea how to get Raquel to see that it isn't her fault. None of this is her fault. That'd be like saying Kinsey got blasted by steam because I didn't take third spot on her crew. I pause, watching Kinsey. She didn't die, though. Maybe that's the difference. I wait for Wyatt to come out of the tunnel and let my mind wander to the likeliness of any of this working. The high temperature underground allows for the cement to cure faster, but in Earth Builder, it takes a week at normal temperatures for cement to harden fully. If the volcano blows sooner than that, will it hold even without being fully cured? Maybe the weight of the sludge will speed up the process. With that kind of pressure, I do some mental math, figuring out the volume of the tunnel and then trying to figure out the weight of the cement filling it. Heat can speed things up, but so can pressure. That's basic geochemistry, something I read a lot about while trying to perfect my simulation. But then my calculations get interrupted. The radio squawks, and it's Wyatt, announcing he's ready to be extracted. I straighten in my chair. It'll be my turn next. A couple of minutes later, Wyatt is pulled from the tunnel, and he sets down the giant slurry hose. The handles on the end of it glint, reflecting the floodlights in the cavern. Phew, he claims, peeling off his gloves. Done. Done? I ask. Wait, like I don't have to go down there done? Like done? Yes, he says, done. I get up from my chair and walk over to the tunnel's entrance on the floor of the cavern, shining my headlamp into it. Sure enough, a few yards down, there's a nice layer of cement. We can easily finish the tunnel now from the cavern surface. Whoa. Kinsey squeals. Heck yeah, Wyatt. She darts over, hugging him. Dust poofs off of him, and I can see a very flustered expression on his face under flecks of drying cement. It's done? Todd asked, waking up from a nap. We stopped it. The supervolcano can't blow up now. Probably. The tension that's been threaded through me floats away. The worst of it is stopped. If we can get the detonation trigger back from Dr. Greer, there won't even be minor issues, like geysers and such. It'll be like none of this ever happened. We did it. Eddie wakes up next, and he and Raquel share an exhausted hug of relief. Wyatt collapses in a chair, free from Kinsey, and rubs his hands all over his face. Kinsey's the only one of us actively cheering. Bree! She spies me and full-on tackles me. I fall back on a chair, the fabric sinking under our weight. Oof! We're done! I laugh, but probably not as much as Kinsey wants me to. I know, I can't believe it, I say, trying to muster some enthusiasm. I wish I could feel happier about this monumental thing we just did, but I felt like this once before and had it horribly snatched away from me. Maybe I'm just tired, but something still isn't sitting right with me. Where's Miss McNamara? Todd asks. Kinsey looks around, climbing off of me. No idea. She was here a minute ago. Yo, Miss McNamara, she shouts. Come party with us, we're done. Miss McNamara appears from the edge of the cavern entrance. She must have been on guard duty. All done? She asked. All done, Kinsey declares, beaming. Fantastic, she says. And that's when a dozen men with guns step out from behind her, with Dr. Greer and Nolan in the lineup. See, Miss McNamara says to Dr. Greer, I told you positive motivation always works better than negative.